In today's video, guys, Nintendo Direct Mini is happening tomorrow at 6 a.m. PT, 9 a.m. ET. Nintendo of America on Twitter announced it today, as you've seen here. In today's video, guys, we're going to take a look at 5 third-party games that could very well save this event from not being first-party games. Let's get started. What is going on, guys? Jim here with a video today. And guys, before we get started with the top 5 games that should be in the Nintendo Direct Mini, let's talk about some of the stuff that are key things to know about going into this Nintendo Direct. 1, this Nintendo Direct is only focused on third-party games. So if you're looking for Mario, Donkey Kong, Pokemon, etc., Zelda, you're not going to see it. So that's why I made this top 5 list to focus on third-party games that could very well save the show. Number 2, it is on June 28th, which is tomorrow, and it is at 6 a.m. PT and 9 a.m. ET, so it's very early in the morning. And number 3, it's roughly 25 minutes long, so if you're worried about it being a 5-10 minute show, it's not going to be like that. So guys, let's get started with the top 5 games that I think should very well be mentioned in this Nintendo Direct Mini that could save the show. Let's get started. Starting the list at number 5, we have Kingdom Hearts Recoded / Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days. Guys, if you are familiar with Kingdom Hearts, I myself am a huge Kingdom Hearts fan. We have not seen these 2 games as playable games on the collections on PlayStation, Xbox. Wherever you can play Kingdom Hearts games, you cannot play the DS games of Kingdom Hearts Recoded and Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days. You can watch the cutscenes, but how about we bring the games from the DS where it started and bring the gameplay of the games exclusively to the Nintendo Switch? That would be incredible. Yes, I'm pretty sure it'll follow up on PlayStation and Xbox, but I think a starting point, maybe a timed exclusive, would be to have Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 and Kingdom Hearts Recoded on the Nintendo Switch. Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 is one of the most underrated Kingdom Hearts stories in the series, and the gameplay is great on the DS. It definitely needs an overhaul, obviously, so that's why the Switch would make perfect sense for it. Now, Kingdom Hearts Recoded, definitely an oddball, very weird game. Maybe we'll see some more Kingdom Hearts announcements. Maybe we'll see something with the iOS game, Android. That could be another thing that could be on it. Obviously, it's made by Square Enix and Disney, so this is not a Nintendo exclusive. It could be very well mentioned in this Nintendo Direct Mini. Alright, number 4, we have something that Nintendo fans are asking for the longest time, and that is Persona 5 Royal. Persona 5 Royal is the expansion version of Persona 5, the base game that came out several years ago. Persona 5 is one of the best RPG games of all time. And it got me into turn-based games more and more because of it. Persona Royal obviously expands on Persona 5. Persona Royal came out on PlayStation 4, and also it just got a release date on Xbox Game Pass, coming to Xbox in October. With that in mind, that's not the only Persona game. Persona 4 Golden, which was originally on the Vita and came to PC, and now it's headed over to Xbox and PlayStation consoles, but now it is not in sight on the Switch. So what I'm trying to say here, guys, is that Persona 4 Golden, Persona 5 Royal, and obviously the last one I didn't mention is Persona 3 Portable, need to make their appearance on the Nintendo Switch. These 3 games, I have not played 3 and 4, but I have very well played 5. I would love to play these games on the Switch, but obviously there's other consoles we have here, so I'll play it on there as well. But Persona collection needs to happen because fans have been asking for this, and this is one thing could very well save this event from not being first-party games. Obviously, it's by Atlas, and it's not an exclusive. Guys, speaking of Persona, number 3, we have Persona Q1 and Q2. Now, you're probably wondering what these games are, or you already know what these games are. These are exclusive 3DS games. These games came out several years ago. The first one came out much earlier than the second one, but these 2 games are based off of Persona as a crossover with Etrian Odyssey. These games are amazing. Honestly, they're very underrated titles. They're, if you like Etrian Odyssey and Persona Q1 and Q2 are games that have not been announced for the Switch yet. These 2 games started on Nintendo 3DS, and since they're focused on Wii games coming to the Switch more so than the 3DS games, I did make a video about 3DS games that should come to the Switch. It'll be in the description below, but I think that the Q1 and Q2 from Persona are much needed on the Switch. Best way to get them right now is digital, because it is not worth buying them physical. The announcement of Persona Collection may be happening. It was only fitting to have Persona Q1 and Q2 get its announcement as well to the Switch as ports. Alright guys, number 2 is a weird one. I wanted to add this one in because I thought it would be very unique for it to happen. And that is Rhythm Thief and the Emperor's Treasure. This game was one of the most underrated 3DS titles on the platform, and it is based off of mystery solving and just like Layton, and it's got puzzle solving. There's a catch to this one. It also has rhythm, and the rhythm is so addicting in this game. And with all the rhythm games coming to Switch and the rhythm games on other consoles, it is a major thing to have this game come to the Nintendo Switch. For one, it's very expensive. It's one of the most expensive games. I don't know, at the time it's recording, you'll see on the screen, this game is very hard to attain for a cheaper price on the 3DS. Number 2, with 3DS going out of print pretty soon, need to see this game come to the Switch more so than just being talked about on the 3DS. And number 3, guys, this is literally a game that I'm surprised they didn't bring over. This is the one I thought on this top 5 list that would definitely shock you guys, because obviously some people have heard of it, some people have not, but Rhythm Thief and the Emperor's Treasure, hope I'm saying it right, is a game that you could get right now on the eShop for fairly cheap, but if you want to buy it physical, you're paying a pretty penny for that game. But here's the thing, guys, there is something that could happen with this game. They could add some more DLC to the Switch. They could maybe even announce the second game. Who knows? Things are endless with the Rhythm Thief Emperor's Treasure not being announced in over a decade as a sequel or a port. Could it happen? We'll find out tomorrow. And number 1, we have something that needs to happen, and it's been bothering me for years now, and that is the Professor Layton Trilogy. Guys, we haven't seen Professor Layton in Azran Legacy or Professor Layton in Phoenix Wright ported to the Switch, and there's really good reason why it should happen. But before we continue, there is a Professor Layton game, or sort of, Lady Layton, the Controls and Conspiracy, Millionaires, something like that. That game is the only one that was ported to the Switch, and honestly, it works really well, and it's fun. But that's not the best in the series, or even close to the best in the series. We need the Professor Layton 3DS Trilogy and the Professor Layton DS Trilogy ported to the Switch. Now, to make things more clear, we need to have 2 separate collections, one for the DS games and one for the 3DS games, so it's not overcrowded. Maybe you can buy them digital separately on the eShop, that would be cool as well. But the reason why is because these games, especially Azran Legacy and Phoenix Wright, are pushing upwards of $150 a piece. Yes, each game is $150. Miracle Mask is still hanging around $60, and the other DS games, some of them, it's incredible. These games are way too expensive, and it's not fair a Nintendo owner such as a Switch not to experience these games because of obviously the 3DS shop closing down. Obviously we haven't seen a sale on those games yet. I'll definitely make a video if we see any sales on any of those games for sure. But it's fitting to bring the Professor Layton Trilogy to this Nintendo Direct Mini. This is a must. So that is number 1. Alright guys, that is my top 5 list for today. I would like to add one in, but I cannot figure out if this is an exclusive or if this is a third-party game, and that is Disney Magical World 3. Can you imagine if we get Disney Magical World 3? I really think that is one of the most fitting games for them to add tomorrow, but I do not know if that is third party or not, so that one's tricky. I know it's by Bandai Namco and Nintendo, so that's probably not going to happen, but if it does, we could see that possibly happening, along with Disney Magical World 1 Enhanced Enchanted Edition. That's the better one of the 2 in my opinion, and 3 should bring back the card system. 3 could add Jungle Book, could add the 101 Dalmatians, or even the Lion King. There's so many endless possibilities when it comes to Disney Magical World, but that is the added bonus to this video that I could not figure out if it was a third-party game or a first-party game. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. Alright guys, that is it for today's video. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about my 5 bold predictions for the Nintendo Direct Mini. Obviously, I didn't state the games like Gotham Knights and Harry Potter, and again Hogwarts Legacy and other games coming out, Sniper Elite, all types of games that have not come to the Switch yet, because I'm pretty much going for the games that Nintendo fans would really go nuts for when it comes to third-party games, ones that really stand out as third-party games that need to be considered first-party games at this point. So guys, those are my top 5. Let me know in the comment section below which other games you would add to this. Am I missing any? And do you think any of these could happen? Stay awesome, stay positive, and most of all, stay safe. Peace out, guys.